Okay, so I wanted to do this sort of video because after watching the first episode of Cosplay of Heroes, the one thing that I was really struck by was the fact that these American competitions seem so different than the competitions that I was used to in Canada. So I wanted to do this video to show what my experience in cosplay competition was, because I felt that the portrayal of cosplay competitions on Cosplay of Heroes was inaccurate to my experience.
Hi, I'm Lausian, also known as Stephanie. I have been cosplaying for more than 10 years. I don't like to admit that, but Evie made me. I started cosplaying when I was really little. My parents were Trekkies, so there are pictures of me as like a 2-year-old dressed up as a Klingon, and my sisters, and it's pretty cool. You'll never see them though. I am a master level costumer, which means I compete at the highest level. I've been doing masquerades for years and years and years. I also judge masquerades now, and I work in Toronto doing film and television. I do wardrobe, just kind of starting that out. I'm classically trained as a seamstress, all that good stuff. And when I cosplay, I tend to focus really on sewing things. I stay away from props and things. I leave those to people who have better math skills than me.
Hi, I'm Emily, also known as Amanda. I've been cosplaying since 2004 along with my sister Lausian, and more recently I've switched more into the photography side of things. As I'm going to school for photography right now, in the second year, I'm still focusing a lot on cosplay as well.
So, you've never entered a masquerade, you have no idea what's going on. Let me explain it. Very simply, you gotta register. So at that point, you kind of want to know what you're gonna do. Are you gonna do a skit, or are you gonna do a walk-on? There's nothing wrong with a walk-on, nothing wrong with a skit. You should know ahead of time how long your time is. Is it a minute? Is it 2 minutes? You gotta know so you can plan your skit or your walk-on. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna sign up, and all you need to know is the name of your skit, brief introduction, and who's entering. Fill out your form, and then don't worry about it till the green room. At the green room, you gotta show up. It's number one important thing. Once you show up, you sign in, you get like a place to sit. It's called a den. Pretty awesome. And at that point, there's a couple different things you gotta do while you're there. You can choose to do workmanship, which is when the judges look at all the little details of your costume and you tell them about the 10 million hours you spent doing all the hand beating. That's the point to tell them. You also have to get a photo taken. Sometimes they'll do cool photos where you get to like pose, but most of the times you're just holding your entry number so that the judges can look at it later and know who you are. You also need to talk to the sound guys if you've got any sound going on, because you need to make sure that it's working, because you want to know ahead of time. You're also going to talk to the MC so that he can read it in front of you so that you know that he A, knows how to pronounce your name, B, knows the timing, and C, knows when to do it. You don't want him announcing you too early or too late for your skit. Then lastly, you're going to talk to the stage ninjas. Stage ninjas are the awesome helper people in black. They're the ones who carry dead bodies off the stage, put your props on, take your props off, and I've even seen them hold a window so I could crawl through it. Then all you got to do is sit tight and try and relax, because sometimes it's hard until it's ready to go on stage. So there are different levels of division. You have what's called Young Fan, which is anyone under 12 years of age. And basically everyone who enters Young Fan wins, because we want to encourage them to keep cosplaying, and they're pretty adorable. We also have what's called Out of Competition, which means you don't care about the awards and you can't win any, but you just want to go on stage and have a lot of fun. Then there's your 4 main levels. So in order, they are Novice, Journeyman, Artisan, and Master. To get out of Novice, you just have to win 1 award. It can be an honorable mention, it can be Best in Novice, doesn't really matter, that'll bump you up to Journeyman. To get from Journeyman to Artisan, you either need to win 3 minor awards, like Best Journeyman Presentation or an honorable mention, or a major award like Best in Class Journeyman. Then you get bumped up to Artisan. Once you're an Artisan, you can again win either 3 minor awards or 1 major award. You can either win 3 minor awards or 1 major award. And then you get to Master. Now the other thing is, if you work in the industry, you have to enter Master. Because if you're a seamstress, you can't enter Novice. That's not fair to the rest of the novices. And when you are Artisan and Master, you have to do workmanship. That means that the judges have to look at what you're wearing and see all the little details. one in your group. So now, when I go in to judge, because I do workmanship and presentation, when we look at workmanship, what we're really looking at is, did you use a pattern? What kind of seam finishes did you do? Did you do any of the hand sewing? Like, we want to know all the cool things you did. Did you make your own prop? What did you make it out of? Did you style your own wig? Well, that's cool. What did it look like before now that it looks like this? Reference pictures are a great idea too, because I'm a little old, so sometimes I don't know the latest anime. It happens. And then for presentation, usually called stage, which is a misnomer. Presentation is about how you look on the stage. So we actually do still look at your costume, because we want to make sure that it still looks nice from where we're sitting, which is down on the ground looking up at you. And we're looking at how long is the skit. Does it feel long or does it feel short? Because sometimes 1 minute is usually a good time for a skit. Sometimes that 1 minute can seem really fast, which is what you want. Things are well paced, I'm laughing, I'm crying, my heart is torn in two and then patched back together. It's like a Pixar movie of a skit. Or sometimes that 1 minute kind of drags on. And you really feel the 1 minute. That's never good. So what I recommend, because I enter a lot too, is maybe toss your idea past your friends, see what they think. If they laugh, probably onto a good thing.
When it comes to the awards, there's 2 major awards for each division as well as an overall Best in Show award. For each division, there's Best in Class Workmanship and Best in Class Presentation. That'll be for novice, journeyman, and higher than that. When it comes to Best in Show, that's going to be across every single division, and that's given to one skit overall. So basically, a judge can choose, or judges can choose whether or not they're going to award these at any point. If they don't find there's a skit worthy or costume worthy, they can choose not to give it. This happens very infrequently, but does happen sometimes.
Entry number 5 in the journeyman division.
Woo!
As soon as our sound tech is ready. An Eternal Kingdom. The silver millennium was a beautiful kingdom upon the moon, ruled over by Queen Serenity and home of Princess Serenity. But all things must come to an end.
So why did I enter the masquerade, and why did I pick the character that I picked to enter the masquerade? Well, I really enjoy masquerades, and I really enjoy being on stage, and the green room is a lot of fun, and you get to learn a lot in the green room. Like, you're in your den with other contestants who are about your skill level, and you might see like tips, like tricks that they did on their costume, and it's like, how did you do that? And you can learn a lot and you can make a lot of good friends in the green room too. So I really enjoy the green room part, and it also gives you a chance to like sit down for a couple hours after being standing all day at the con. And then, why did I pick the character I did? Well, for this masquerade, I picked Princess Serenity, and I had my boyfriend be Prince Edemion. I did this character for a couple reasons. The first being, I had spent like 4 months trying to get the perfect wig. And I was finally able to get the one I wanted, and I wanted to use it right away. And I was rewatching the original Japanese actually, because of course there's this new remake of it coming out, and I wanted to watch the original again. And my boyfriend actually does really enjoy Sailor Moon 2, although he probably doesn't like that I'm telling you that. And I wanted to do a couple cosplay with him, and I've wanted to do one for a very long time. And he's finally had the money to be able to get the supplies for me to make the costume for him. So I worked really hard on making sure, like, to get his costume all together and figuring out how to do armor and all of that. And it was just, it's a really iconic couple and characters from my childhood that I wanted to portray. and I felt like it was a really good time to do it for me. Just with my skill level, I felt I could pull off the dress and the armor and the cape and everything really well.
1, 2, 3, and go.
Why do I enter masquerades? I like attention, because let's be obvious, I'm wearing shiny spandex. But also, I get such a rush being on stage and getting to embody the character and show off all my hard work. I mean, yes, awards are nice. Who doesn't like awards? But, I don't know, they're not the main part of it. The main part is just having fun and showing off what you've done.